You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
I think you can handle the truth, folks. Good morning. It is Friday. It is 0:30. Blasting out of the bunker, folks. Going to take on the day. I hope you had a good night's rest. But don't worry, the SHTF continued while you were sleeping. So I get up this morning and I catch a news headline. Katie Hobbs, who is the governor of Arizona, and that laugh is because I don't believe she was elected, is allegedly been caught accepting a $400,000 bribe. Now, I would like to see this story really get some more traction, but I think, as far as I'm concerned, I'm at the beginning of it. But what it is it's indicative of what politics has become. The entire thing, and I know it's been this way a long time, but the entire process is just a shakedown for money. Now, if we use a retail establishment, a store, as an example, to talk about the difference between the way it is now and, well, the way it probably has been for a long time. Stores deal with theft all the time, but it doesn't put them out of business. It just affects the bottom line a little bit. It's irritating. It's frustrating. People taking things that don't belong to them. But then there's when a store is looted, right? Employees are overrun. Merchandise is just swiped. The people doing it are just blatantly out in the open, not even hiding their crimes barely. Maybe hiding their identity, wearing hoodies, but just, massively stealing everything off the shelves they can. And the store cannot withstand that and stay in business. They go out of business. They've had too much stolen. That's what's happening in America right now. Yes, politicians are scumbags. Yes, they are known for being thieves and liars, and right. We've dealt with that through all of human history. Those who get put in charge end up enriching themselves. So here we are with this topic in front of us. The country is now being looted. Any semblance of decency and lawfulness are just gone. And I'm not just talking about Katie Hobbs. I'm not just talking about Arizona and their voter fraud that they're still covering up. They're still hiding. They're still fighting from 2020, right, where they ran out of ballots, where polling places were closed, where they got way too many ballots in districts that didn't have that many voters. Name it. And I'm not just talking about Arizona. I'm talking about the looting of America. SHTF style. Look at Ukraine. You don't have to use conjecture, hyperbole. You don't have to take a wild guess. You can just look at what happened there. FTX, the crypto exchange, with tens of billions of dollars in assets, being run by a 29-year-old who treated it like a piggy bank for himself and his sick friends. When I say sick, I just mean they were a bunch of creeps and cretins and little perverts, I guess. Well, they would take that money and they would send it over to Ukraine and they would launder it there and then send it back. And I don't think Joe Biden ever gave his share back. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Some politicians did. They're like, yeah, I don't want this money. It's dirty money. Others refused to respond. It was completely Disgusting. The Sam Bankman-Fried, the game that was played there. But it's not just him. How many politicians, right, just are in it for the money? They're just like they're hiding everything right in the open. Right? How many of these politicians? Let me just say a couple of names. Nancy Pelosi. How about Eye Patch McCain? Lindsay Lindsay Lohan Graham, Mitt Romney. How many of these people are doing business in Ukraine? Supposedly doing business. But it sure smells, sure feels a lot like they're just stealing money over there. Why would they be putting so much time and effort and care into a country no one gives a shit about? I mean, no one cares what happens there. Nobody cared. If they did, why would they allow, a bunch of militant Nazis literally to take over? It's just, it's an awful situation that we're all dealing with. They're just literally stealing all the money they can. How can a congresswoman, an idiot like AOC, and she is, folks, take a look at her track record and things she said. The way she thinks. She makes what, $150,000 a year as a congresswoman? Let's just say 200,000. She's been in Congress just a few years, and she's already worth millions and millions. How do you do that? The rest of us work, pay taxes, pay our bills, and there's nothing left. Yet when you go to Congress, you get paid. I assume they pay taxes. And then at the end of the year, after paying their bills, paying for where they live and everything, they got even more money. Tell me that's not bribery or graft. Tell me that they're not extorting companies and calling it campaign donations. It's just all in our faces now, but they're doing it at such a, I'm going to use the term, prodigious rate that it's inexcusable that they're not being looked at for it. And who is policing the police, so to speak? No one. No one is policing the police. Right? No one's there saying, hey, you are the bad guys and we're going to stop you so the bad guys don't stop. Probably the biggest one of all is Joe Biden, President of the United States. There are phone calls recorded of Hunter Biden shaking down Chinese businessmen. Shaking them down, just telling them authoritatively, you will pay. You will pay. Those were just secret tapes, or saved tapes rather, not so secret anymore, from Hunter Biden's laptop. Typically, people are talking about the big guy because that's what he refers to, right? And his dad is right next to him, sitting there wondering what the heck, right? Using his dad as a tool, a prop. And I really do believe Joe was sitting right next to him, letting Hunter do all the talking. These morons and buffoons, folks, it's incredible that they saved that phone call. It's just incredible. Now, on top of that, Hunter Biden sat on the board in Burisma in Ukraine, a power company, making $50,000 a month as a electrical executive. But he was being investigated by a semblance of authority there in Ukraine. And Joe Biden told the story himself, not to a computer, not to a friend, but in a public meeting where he sat on stage and boasted that he told the government of Ukraine, If you want the money, right? If you want all the money coming from the United States of America government, then you will stop investigating his son Hunter. And they did, because they wanted the money. I think it was $1 billion or 6 million. I can't even remember what the number was. But essentially, withholding public funds that were supposed to be sent there until their criminal behavior was excused and forgotten. That's where we're at, folks. That is government. And I just covered the United States. I did not cover the rest of the world. I mean, seriously, who would make the decisions they're making, leaving the border open, the policy decisions they make? Why would they allow themselves to be destroyed unless they're getting paid really well for it? Hey, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. I'll see you tonight, 0 dark 30 out. And next time you see me, it'll be the Friday free for all. See you then.